What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we are back with another Star Wars Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video, and today we are featuring a very special character. For the second consecutive video, we are doing a special unboxing. Today we are doing Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I am so excited to go ahead and get this unboxing done with you guys. Number one, this is the first ever deluxe version figure that Hot Toys does for a Vader figure. Number two, Vader is already a legendary character to begin with, and he is the face of my channel. Obviously he is the profile image to all of my accounts, so very excited to go ahead and get this unboxing video started. And by the way, hopefully you guys like that intro that I did with the video. This is a one-time thing, and it is something that I came up with. I know it wasn't perfect. I feel like the video was a little too blurry, but I hope that you guys understand my camera isn't the greatest, so I tried my best. Hopefully you guys like the intro. Again, it is a one-time thing. I still have not forgiven myself for not putting Vader as one of my top 10 to look out figures for this year of 2024. I promise you guys, my excitement with this guy is at an all-time high. I cannot wait to go ahead and get started with the unboxing. A lot of things to look forward to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Starting off with the design of the box, guys. So as you guys know, unfortunately, with every single Star Wars figure, we are supposed to have the same cover. We get, of course, the image of Vader in the main cover along with a black background and a special edition logo on the right side. We do get the same red color banner as we did for Reva and for the Grand Inquisitor, along with an image of Vader and a base that comes with the figure. We do get on the right side a black background along with that same banner in a red and white coloring. So as you guys can see, the same design for every single box. And then on the back, we pretty much get the warning and legal information, the name of the figure, and that banner again at the bottom. Right side, black background, once again an image of Vader on that same banner. So no differences. Sadly, this is all we get with the main box. No complaints, right? Obviously, we all know that we wish we had more things, but this would be it for the first box. Now we get to this second box, and guys, I'm gonna go ahead and be clear about it. This is the best box design I have ever seen from any Hot Toys figure that I've received. So obviously this would be the main cover if Hot Toys had control of these Star Wars boxes. We get pretty much an image of Vader and Kenobi on his right side, along with his lightsaber that pretty much controls the whole box with red shading. We get his Inquisitors, we get the Star Wars logo and a Vader logo at the bottom. The red shading is what does it for me with this box. It is an absolute beauty of a box. On the back side, we get pretty much the warning and legal information again. We pretty much get Tatooine on the back side along with that red shading, and I'm not sure if that is the Death Star at the top, but again, everything just looks so awesome. And to me, I feel like Hot Toys includes the legal information as well here, because this is pretty much them saying that this would be their actual main box if they had full control. On the right side, we once again get the Death Star at the top, the name of the figure, and a Disney logo at the bottom, once again with that red color shading that just looks so beautiful on this box. And then back to the main cover. Again, this is just an absolute perfect secondary box for the figure. And then now we get another piece of beauty right here. So this is pretty much kind of like a cardboard type of cover on top of the figure. So we get an image of Vader and Obi-Wan right there at the top. We get them both as well right there at the bottom, fighting with their lightsabers. We get the name of the figure and the name of the movie, of course, Star Wars, at the very bottom. Both covers are an absolute piece of beauty for this figure. Again, I just wish Lucasfilms would give Hot Toys more kind of more of a control when it comes to these figures, because unfortunately we get to miss out on the beauty of the main box that they designed for this figure. But as you guys can see right here, again, Vader and Kenobi just look phenomenal. It does come with a paragraph right here that you guys are if you want to can pause to go ahead and read it. But we get right there at the top, Anakin is gone, I am what remains, which is a pretty awesome quote from the series for those of you guys who watched it. One of the interesting things is that Kenobi Kenobi's lightsaber is also red. And actually, guys, I don't mind it because, again, the box itself is supposed to be for Vader. The red coloring is supposed to represent the whole box in itself, so I really don't mind it. The imagery is just absolutely beautiful. Now, with this cardboard type of cover, we do get pretty much the holes where each accessory goes, and also the figure, but also each part does kind of have like some wording describing what each accessory is. That kind of pretty much is one of those things where we usually get with every single Star Wars figure. Well, not every single figure, but most of them. Now, getting this guy for the first time, oh yeah, he looks fucking awesome. I'm sorry if I'm cursing, right? I don't mean to. I'm not a guy that curses a lot, but to me, with this figure, it's worth it. This guy looks absolutely awesome. Everything just looks great about him. Obviously, he is covered in a lot of plastic, which I don't mind. I want the figure to be as protected as possible, but he looks really, really good so far. Looking at the Anakin part of the head sculpt, it just looks so well done, and obviously we will touch on that a little bit later on in the video. But for now, we are off to a fantastic start. As you guys know, with the figures that I usually do, we are first going to start with all of the accessories. After that, we'll do a couple of side-by-side comparisons. We'll take a look at the figure more in detail, and after that, we'll go ahead and finish off with a couple of poses and just give my final thoughts on this guy. But for now, off to a fantastic start. This guy might end up being my favorite figure of all time. Okay, guys, so starting off with the accessories. So for the first time ever, I am having to do a part 1 and part 2 of the accessories. Unfortunately, the bases I felt like were too big, and I didn't want to make the kind of like the view a little bit too big. Unfortunately, you guys wouldn't be able to see everything in detail. So we first start off with a double layered cape for Vader that comes with the suit. So I am so glad that they did a double layered, because that means that we can actually have two views with this cape. So the main view is going to be the battle damage version, which obviously, as you guys can see right there, that cut that Obi-Wan causes in that ending fight scene, it looks very well detailed. I love the fabric of the cape. The only thing is that unfortunately it is not wired. I wish that it did come with some type of wiring, not everything, but at least some parts of it to make the figure pose a little bit more natural. But the cape itself looks really, really good, and I'm glad that we're able to pose it in two different ways. Now we get to the battle damage mask of Vader. Now I'm gonna go ahead and touch on this mask a little bit more in detail a little bit later on, but so far this to me is the best part of the whole figure. That part of Anakin is sculpted so well, and as you guys can see, removing the top part of the helmet, it does come with, thankfully, rotating eyes, which is going to make the posing on this guy even so much better. And now it does come with this. It looks so good, and so glad that Hot Toys included this on the deluxe version. I feel like they had to include it because obviously that was such a defining scene in the whole series. Obviously, it does come also with this regular helmet. The regular helmet was part of the deluxe version, so if you guys got the standard version, it does not come with the regular helmet. To me, the regular helmet looks as good as ever. I really have no complaints. I've never had complaints about Darth Vader helmets. To me, I don't want to say they're easy to make, but it's like we know the look. It's the same look for every single movie and series, possibly a detail here and there, but to me it looks really, really good. We do have 4 different pieces of lightsaber. So we get the normal motion lightsaber that, to me, I've never had a big issue with the lightsabers themselves, but I feel like Hot Toys has to evolve eventually and make these a little bit more legit. Now it does come with 3 pieces of regular lightsaber. The funny thing about these, well, not the funny thing, but the interesting thing about these is that 2 of these are actually smaller because they belong to Rey's lightsaber. So for those of you guys who watch the series, there is a scene where Vader takes away her lightsaber, and he has 2, I guess, lightsabers on each hand. So they come with these, so that way we can possibly pose the figure with 2 lightsabers. He does also have a hologram piece, and this is the Grand Inquisitor. So all 3 figures that we've had so far, Reva, the Inquisitor, and Vader, they each have come with a hologram accessory. To me, the accessory is very well done. It looks like the Inquisitor, and I love the fact that it comes with this little standing base, so that way we can pose the figure holding the actual hologram. So it does come with this, and very glad that it does have it. We also do get his light up chest box. This is the normal version, as I mentioned before. The normal Vader figure is the battle damage suit, but this along with the helmet are part of the deluxe version. Again, very glad that they included this in the deluxe version, because that means we can pose the figure in different ways. If we want to have it with the normal suit up version, the damage battles version, it's completely up to you guys. Now we get to the lightsaber. So we get the normal lightsaber of Vader along with the cable, the same light up. We're gonna pretty much light up the lightsaber the same way that we did with Reva and also the Inquisitor. It seems to me that Hot Toys is trying something new. To me, with Reva, the light up effect was pretty good but not great. And then we get Reva's lightsaber. So as you guys can see there, that is the same lightsaber for Reva, as I mentioned before on that fight scene that Vader has with her. He takes away her lightsaber and he holds those two lightsabers on each hand. So I thought that pose was so awesome in that scene from the series, so I'm glad that they included this with the figure. And then we get pretty much his normal lightsaber with no light up effect. If I'm not mistaken, this lightsaber does you guys can connect it to his belt, so we can definitely try that a little bit later on, or if you guys pretty much want to pose him that way, that is completely up to you. Now we do have all of these pieces of hands that come with the figure, so different poses. Pretty much up to you guys how you want to go ahead and pose the figure. The thing that to me that I love about the hands is the wrinkling part. It makes the hands look very well, not the hands but the gloves, so legit. Obviously the gloves are supposed to have kind of wrinkly parts to it, because of course it's gloves, not actual skin, so they look very legit. The posing on the hands looks really good, so no issues with it whatsoever. Again, different positioning, so not going to complain about that. As you guys can see right here, so one hand pretty much is where you guys are going to insert the lightsaber, and then the other one is pretty much with his hand kind of wide open. To me, I feel like this hand can either be used to kind of show him using the Force, or to hold that hologram piece of the Inquisitor. Pretty much up to you guys how you want to go ahead and do that. Now, the one thing that I will complain about the hands is that they didn't include a finger pointing type of hand. I've always loved to pose Vader pointing the finger and then his other hand on his belt. That's been one of my favorite iconic poses for Vader. We unfortunately do not get that right here on these hands. One is with his fist closed, which is pretty much a must with Vader as well, and then the other one is to hold the lightsaber, but that's going to be on the on his other arm. So as you guys can see, a lot of pieces of hands that the figure comes with. To me, it is a must because it is a deluxe version, so no issues with it whatsoever. With this hand, again, pretty much you guys get to decide how you guys want to use it. I feel like this hand can hold, once again, the hologram or also the lightsaber, just depending on how you pose it. We'll definitely try that a little bit later on in the video to see how the hands are going to fit onto the figure. The last two hands are pretty much going to be his hands wide open. Again, as I mentioned before, I really love the wrinkly part on the gloves. I feel like that makes the gloves look very legit, and I really can't kind of get a hand on the fabric of the hands. It's kind of hard, but I really wouldn't know if to call it plastic. That's one of the things that I'm still learning as a new collector, kind of like the fabric and the things that each accessory is made out of. But for now, we are off to a great start. Again, so many things that this figure comes with. For the first time doing a part 1 and part 2 of the accessories, so for now, off to a fantastic start. We get to part 2 of the accessories, and we are doing his display bases. So it's kind of hard to tell with the display bases what scenes they represent. So we're first going to get to this display scene right here. I'm sorry, to this base right here. So this pretty much is supposed to represent that final fighting scene against Obi-Wan. I cannot forget the name of the planet where they fought, but obviously we had a kind of like a rocky type of atmosphere and scene, so it's supposed to represent that. I like the design of it. It looks really good. No complaints about it. The weathering, the way that the base itself is made, looks good to me. No issues with it whatsoever. Now, one of the things that's very interesting about both display bases is that neither of them comes with an actual nameplate. I don't know why Hot Toys decided to do that. I'm not sure if it had to do with some legal right things, or maybe they just forgot, I don't know. But no nameplate with Vader, so very interesting as to why it is. Now this base right here is supposed to represent, I guess, you know, his spaceship, not sure, but it does come with LED light up effects, so we're definitely gonna go ahead and try that on right now. It does come with a crotch holder that is really large, and I'm glad that it comes with it because it's gonna hold up the figure better than most. And as you guys can see here with the light up effect, it looks really good. I'm not gonna complain about this one. This one, it looks really good. It lights up very well. My camera might not show that, as I always say, my camera isn't the greatest, but in person this looks really bright. No complaints about it whatsoever. For once, Hot Toys got it right. The light up display base looks really good. So again, with the deluxe version figures, something that I've noticed is that it comes with 2 bases. To me, that is a must. We're supposed to get as many options as possible as far as posing the figure. So this will be the display bases. For some reason, no nameplates, but they look really good. And this would be it for all of the accessories. Off to a fantastic start. Okay guys, so now talking about this guy more in detail. So as I mentioned before when I started the video, this guy might be my favorite Hot Toys figure ever, and I'm gonna go ahead and give my final decision at the end when we're posting him. But this face sculpt, the battle damage face sculpt with half Anakin, half Vader, is as good of a face sculpt as you guys are ever gonna get for any Hot Toys figure. As far as the skin texture, the fabric of the helmet, the battle damage, how great it looks. I can tell his helmet has been, you know, pretty much burned by something, and obviously the lightsaber burned that part of his helmet. It just looks so freaking awesome. And then the fact that it has a rotating left eye, it makes a big difference. The cuts on his, well, not cuts, but more like his burns below his eye and on his head just looks so legit. This face sculpt or mask is as good as ever. I really have to give it up to Hot Toys. They did a fantastic job. And then the suit itself, the battled chest piece or chest light up box, great as well. It looks fantastic. The weathering on it, it looks great. I really have no complaints as far as the battle damage parts of it. The shoulder plate looks pretty good as well, although I think it looks good, but I guess the question would be moving the hands, if it's gonna allow us to move the hands. Now the suit itself, the bodysuit that comes with the figure itself, I like the feel of it. It looks great. I guess the question would be if we bend the arms, if it's gonna damage it. As you guys can see, it bends, but I'm really not worried as far as damaging the suit itself. I really don't think that's gonna be an issue at all. I like how it looks. If we bend the legs, I guess it might damage the suit, but I mean, I really don't find the reason as to why we would, you know, bend the suit that much. And obviously with this guy, we want to have him standing still as much as possible to avoid damaging the figure in any way. So to me, I have no issues with the bodysuit. Now the belt itself, I do have an issue. Unfortunately, it is made out of pleather. In my previous videos, I have mentioned my displeasure with the pleather. I feel like that material damages very quickly, and it is an issue of mine that they made the belt this way. And as you guys can see in the back, we do have 2 of the cables that I would assume is going to turn on his belt itself, and we will definitely try that a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, that's going to probably be an issue of mine. So right there, as you guys can see on his right arm, it does come also with another cable. I would assume that's going to turn on his light up chest box. Again, we will try that a little bit later on in the video. And then as we get to the bottom, another issue that I find, so with the leg braces or leg protectors, whatever you guys want to go ahead and call it, I feel like they're a little bit too loose. And then the boots, my god, they went with pleather. Now why in the hell would they do that? Now this is where they lose me. This is what probably makes me say that this figure isn't perfect, because of the pleather. I mean, just looking at Reva, they did a fantastic material as far as the boots itself, and you know, they're not going to get damaged. But then instead of doing the same thing with Vader, they go back to pleather, and I mean, it's just a very unfortunate thing about the figure, because to me, it is a big difference. I feel like it's going to get damaged over time, and it's just a very unfortunate thing. But other than that, everything looks perfect. The suit itself, that battle damage parts, everything looks amazing. So for now, it looks good. Let's go ahead and try other different looks with the figure, just to see what it comes with and how it looks with all the other accessories. So now right here, I went ahead and attached his cape. So as I mentioned before, the cape is double layered. So obviously you guys can either put it with the battle damage, piece, or with the normal part of it, just depending on how you guys want to go ahead and display it. As I mentioned before, the cape looks good, but my only complaint about it is that it is not battle damage. Another thing that I did is that I did go ahead and rotate his eye to look on the left, and again, it just gives the figure a whole other dimension. As I mentioned on previous videos, to me the rotating eye is a big game changer. It just gives the figure a lot more meaning and a lot more legitness when it comes to posing. And as I mentioned before, with the cape itself, so pretty much right now just trying different things. I want to make sure that I pose it as natural as I possibly can be. Obviously the cape gives another dimension to the figure, so it looks really, really good for sure. Okay guys, so now we have pretty much we have installed his standard pieces, which are the non-damaged parts. So obviously the helmet and his chest light up box. I went ahead and also installed his lightsaber with the cable, along with the USB cable that I have connected to the wall. One thing that I will complain about Hot Toys is that they're doing all these figures with this USB cable light up, and dude, they won't include other like a cable. Like, it's like they expect us to have cables for every single figure. It's one of those things where, I mean, can they include a USB cable for once? Now, as you guys can see here in the back, I installed 4 cables onto the light up box. So 2 are going to be for his belt, 1 for his chest light up box, and then the other one for the lightsaber. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the figure fully, so that you guys can see how it looks. So right there, obviously with my camera light up, it's not going to show very well, so let me turn off my light so that you guys can see better. Now still with my camera, because it isn't the greatest, you guys aren't able to really fully see, but to me it does light up pretty well. Not perfect, I still feel like Hot Toys can do a little bit better, but to me the lightsaber does light up really good. The chest box and the belt light up perfect. I have no complaints about the belt and the chest box, but with the lightsaber, it is bright, but I still feel they can do a little bit better with that lightsaber. Now right here, this to me is the ultimate look for this figure. So with the damage part of it, thankfully that chest box does light up either way, even though it's damaged. And just getting his lightsaber close up to his face, it does light up pretty good. So as I mentioned before, the light up effect is pretty good on the lightsaber, but it isn't perfect. Now obviously back to turning on the light. So as I mentioned before, this would be my ultimate look with the guy. So with his battle damage suit along with his lightsaber, still in all, the figure just looks absolutely awesome. I cannot tell you guys how great this guy looks in person. I know my camera won't really show it, but the figure itself just looks so freaking awesome. My only complaint would be the pleather on the boots and the belt. That's a big no-no for me, and it's what kind of keeps me away from saying that this guy is perfect. But other than that, just everything looks really good. Really cannot complain about the guy at all. Okay, so now a couple of quick side-by-side comparisons. So thankfully I finally have 2 Vaders, so I can make an actual accurate and legit comparison. So on the left side, we have my Sideshow Collectibles Vader from Return of the Jedi. On the right side, my new Vader figure from Kenobi. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and get out of the way. The Kenobi Vader is by far the better figure, right? And obviously I don't have other Vader figures, so I really can't give an actual accurate answer as if this is the best Vader figure I've ever seen. As far as the videos that I've seen from other collectors, to me this guy is, but I feel like you guys would be better judges of that if you guys have all the Vader figures made by Hot Toys. But as far as the figures, for some reason my Sideshow Collectible Vader is a little bit taller, but the thing about my Kenobi Vader that's better is, number one, the fabric of the cape, the way that the bodysuit is made, the body itself. I feel like it's not as loose and it stands better. All of the accessories, of course, the way that the suit and the mask just looks, it's just so much better than my Sideshow Collectibles Vader. Now of course the pricing is higher, so that obviously the figure better be better than my Sideshow Collectibles Vader. But the one thing that I will give my Return of the Jedi Vader is the boots. There is no pleather. The actual fabric of the boots makes it where it cannot be damaged in any way. So that is one thing that I will give Sideshow. But still in all, my Kenobi Vader is as good as it gets. Again, to me, no question, the best Vader that I've seen out of all of the ones that Hot Toys have released. But as I mentioned before, I feel like you guys would be better judges of that, especially the ones that have collected all of the Vader figures from Hot Toys. Second comparison that I'm going to go ahead and do is going to be with Luke from The Empire Strikes Back. Now, the reason I'm doing this comparison is because, number one, Vader would be my second deluxe figure from Star Wars. So obviously the Luke from Empire Strikes Back was my first DX figure from Star Wars, so I feel like this is a very fair comparison. Both figures come with so many accessories, and I feel like both figures are really good. The one thing that Vader does have as far as an advantage is the fact that he has the rotating eye with the half Anakin face. The Luke figure at that time, Hot Toys wasn't doing rotating eyes yet, so that's one thing that probably is missing from the figure. But both figures come with so many things. I think both come with two different display bases and with a lot of accessories, so both figures are absolute awesomeness, if I can say it that way. I would give the edge to Vader. Number one, I just like the guy more. To me, he's my favorite character from the whole Star Wars saga. But I feel like this was a very fair comparison because, again, both figures come with a lot of accessories and both figures are really awesome. Third side-by-side comparison, guys, is going to be Vader and his Inquisitor. So obviously these three figures have been the ones released for the Kenobi series. The fourth one will be Obi-Wan himself. Cannot wait to go ahead and get him. Once we do, I'm going to go ahead and review the whole collection line just to kind of give my rating on it, and that is something that I really want to do with all of these collection lines once we complete them. But for now, all three figures I would say have been pretty good. The worst one would probably be the Grand Inquisitor because of the way his suit is put together, his facial expression, and then also I felt like his lightsaber was the one that turned on the least. But Reva, I was a big fan of the figure itself. I love the face sculpt, the accessories, the way her suit is put together. A really good figure. But there's no question that my favorite figure is going to be Vader. Vader is my favorite figure out of all of these three, so I would say that all three are good figures for sure, and the collection line is off to a fantastic start. The funny thing about this dynamic is that we really didn't get a scene between these three together. The only one would probably be once Vader stabs Reva with her lightsaber and then the Inquisitor pops up. That's probably it. Other than that, we really didn't get to see these guys together. Obviously the Inquisitor disappears really early in the series, but still in all three are good figures. Vader for sure the best one out of all three. Okay guys, so we have reached the end of the video where pretty much I just pose Vader in different ways. Hopefully you guys like the poses, and I give my final thoughts about the guy. I mean, what can I say? This guy is an absolute awesome figure. I've made my decision, and I want to be clear about what I'm about to say. To me, this opinion is subject to change because to me, my opinion goes as figures come in. So obviously I can change my mind at any point, but as of today, as far as all of the figures that I've received from Hot Toys, well, actually, let me backtrack. Before the start of this video, my favorite figure was Strange from the Multiverse of Madness. That unfortunately has ended today. Well, actually, I'm sorry, no, let me take that back. Not unfortunately, thankfully that has changed today. This Darth Vader figure is my favorite figure that I've received so far from Hot Toys. This guy is absolutely awesome. That battle damage look is just absolute awesomeness. I can't find words to actually describe it. It looks really good. All of these accessories, the display bases, the battle damage pieces, even the regular pieces, they look so well done. Again, as I mentioned before, my only complaint is the pleather on the boots and the belt, but for some reason I feel like Hot Toys did that on purpose. And the reason I say that is because to me, they can't give us the perfect Vader. Why? Because I feel like at some point some collectors will stop buying. Obviously that's not going to be me. I want to collect as many Vaders as I possibly can, but I feel like Hot Toys can't give us everything so fast because they eventually want to release better Vaders as we go. So I feel like they couldn't make this guy perfect, but still in all, this guy is just so awesome. I love everything that he comes with. It's just really a phenomenal figure, to say the least. So very glad that I finally got this guy, and very glad that I'm starting to get more Star Wars figures. We're finally filling up that collection. So as I mentioned before, this is my third figure from the Kenobi series. We're still waiting on Kenobi himself. Cannot wait to go ahead and get him so that we can review the whole collection line. Pretty much this is all that I have to say for the figure itself. It is just so freaking awesome, and I love the fact that I finally have him. So this is going to be pretty much it for the video, guys. I want to thank you all for supporting me as always and for tuning in today. You guys are so awesome, and I really appreciate the support that you guys provide on a daily basis. Hope that you guys enjoyed that intro. That was a one-time thing that I did for this figure because I thought it was such a special unboxing. But again, just thankful for everything that you guys do. As I always mention, if it is the first time that you're watching me, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit the notifications bell so that way you guys are always updated with any videos that I drop on a daily basis. Also want to remind you that I am on TikTok and Instagram. The links to that are on the description of the video. Feel free to go ahead and add me on there. This is where I post daily images and daily clips of my figures, along with updates about my channel and what I have coming up. Again, guys, thankful for everything that you guys do. I did want to quickly mention I did purchase this guy off of Pop Collectibles, not Sideshow. The reason why is that unfortunately with Sideshow, I never got the chance to actually purchase the deluxe version. I feel like Vader deserves the deluxe version, so I had to get him off of Pop Collectibles. I will go ahead and include the link to that on the description of the video. But for now, guys, this is going to be it for my Darth Vader DX unboxing. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you next time.